All right, tonight's episode is a special episode where we're going to share some of the tips, tricks, and tools that we're going to feature in our special annual presentation, the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas. So, we're going to share 4 special tips, tricks, and tools that are going to feature as part of our 2024 season tonight, and we're going to show those to you first. So, thank you for joining us, and let's get started with tonight's episode. All right, so we're going to welcome you to the episode just like we do every time we have an Innovative EdTech episode. We are going to go through and look at those 4 wonderful tips, tricks, and tools that we are going to feature in this year's 12 Tech Tips of Christmas. So it's a very special presentation tonight. Then to finish off, we're just going to tell you how you can stay connected with us here at Evolve EdTech and what's coming up with Evolve EdTech in 2025. So we've got a bumper episode for you tonight. So let's dive in and get started with episode 12 of Innovative EdTech. All right, so welcome. If you are a brand new viewer, welcome to episode 12. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much here. And again, in my absolute wisdom to try and be organized, I've discovered that I've made a slight mistake on the slide deck here, but hey, we're all human and I'm not going to stress about that. But thank you so much for joining us for episode 12. We have a big episode. Anyway, if you are new and you haven't joined us this year, that's okay. My name is Tristan. I am the creator of Evolve EdTech and the host of Innovative EdTech. And thank you so much for joining us. If you're returning, it is lovely to have you back with us for episode 12. So Innovative EdTech is a presentation that we have delivered in 2024 on a monthly basis just to share some different EdTech tips, tricks, and tools with you because we love EdTech here at Evolve EdTech and we want to help you. We want to inspire you. We want you to have a successful and rewarding EdTech journey, and that is why we created Innovative EdTech for you. If you haven't managed to catch up on any of our previous episodes, that's okay. Just head over to the Evolve EdTech YouTube channel and you will be able to catch up on those episodes right now and go and check out those tips, tricks, and tools that we shared in 2024. All right, let's not dilly-dally. Let's jump straight into tonight's episode because we've got a cracker and I think you're going to love some of these tips, tricks, and tools that we're going to share for you this evening. All right, so what is the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas? Well, in 2020, yes, that was a year, believe it or not, we launched our initial version of the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas. It was a special presentation that we put together to celebrate EdTech and the festive season. And for each day from the 13th to the 24th of December, we released a new video with a new EdTech tip, trick, or tool that you might be able to use in your classroom. Unfortunately, in 2021 and 2022, we weren't able to actually present the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas for a couple of reasons. But in 2023, we made a fantastic return, a thrilling comeback with a very special season called the 12 AI Tools of Christmas. So you can go and check out that season of the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas on our YouTube channel right now if you didn't join us in 2023. But this year, we're heading back to our original programming and we are focusing on all kinds of different EdTech tips, tricks, and tools which could help you in many different ways in the classroom. And we've got a fantastic season, which will be launching on the 13th of December on our YouTube channel and our social media channels. So make sure that you check out those tips, tricks, and tools when they launch from the 13th of December. Tonight, we can't share all 12 of those tips, tricks, or tools because that would be a little bit too much. But we are going to give you a little sneak peek of 4 of those wonderful tools that we are going to highlight in the 2024 season of the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas. So tonight, we're going to explore 4 of them that I think might actually be a fantastic addition to your EdTech toolkit. So let's dive into exploring the 4 tips, tricks, and tools from the 2024 season of the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas that we're going to share with you tonight. All right, so tip number one. And yes, this is actually tip number one, which you will see on the 13th of December. So tonight, we're going to start off by heading into the Google Workspace universe. I am a big Google Workspace user. I love it. And tonight, I'm going to show you something that could be an absolute winner for you in the classroom. So I'm going to show you how you can actually find and add additional fonts when you are using tools such as Google Slides and Google Docs. All right. So yes, we can actually go in and have a look at a myriad of wonderful fonts that we can use in Google Slides, Google Docs, and a number of other different Google Workspace applications. So let's dive straight into exploring this. We're going to go and have a look at this absolutely cracker of a tool. All right, I'm just going to change my window here so that we are on the right window. All right, so here we are. I'm actually in Google Slides right now, so I'm going to show you how we find these wonderful new fonts in Google Slides and Google Docs so that you know where to find them, how to use them, and I'm also going to show you this special dyslexia font that has been created by Google as well. So here we are in my new Google slide. Okay, there's nothing here at the moment because it's a brand new slide deck that I might be creating to present to my students, or maybe I'm creating some kind of digital workbook in Google Slides that I can then get my students to use and provide them access to that through an assignment in Google Classroom. So up here, we can see that we have a couple of text boxes. We obviously have our menu bar here. Now, our menu bar is contextual. So what you see will only be relevant to what you are doing at that particular point in time. So you can see it just here in our menu bar that we have nothing about fonts or any of those editing options when it comes to text. That is because we're currently not using any of those particular elements, so we don't need those particular elements to be displayed in our menu bar. All right, but now if I come down here and I click on one of my text boxes, you will now see that I have a blue box around this particular text box. This tells me that this is my active area. This is what I am currently using for this particular moment, or this is what I'm going to be editing. You'll also see in my menu bar here that all of these editing options related to this particular text box have now appeared. That is because the contextualization of what appears in our menu bar is really handy so that we're not being overwhelmed with unnecessarily elements that we're not necessarily using at that time. All right, so I'm going to head up here and you'll see that our default font is Arial. Okay, so it's a nice font. It's simple. It's great if you just want to be a basic Betty. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But you will see that there are a series of other fonts here. Now, mine's going to be a little bit different to perhaps yours because I have added additional fonts in the past, but I'm going to show you where to find those fonts. So if you are a keen beaver, you may have noticed just up the top here, there is an option called More Fonts. Now, if you click on this, it's going to open up this window where you can see a whole swag of other fonts that you can add to your default list of fonts in Google Slides, okay? So there are so many fonts. You can see over here on the right-hand side that I have 3 fonts that I have already added to my list of default fonts, and that is why it tells me my fonts just here. So for example, if I selected outfit, for example, just here, it will now also appear in my fonts. So I can actually see which fonts I have added as additional fonts in addition to those default fonts that are included with Google. So there are literally so many different fonts that you can access and use to create your presentations. for whatever purpose and desire you are looking for. You'll also notice that we do have some filtering options here. We can filter based on script type, okay? It is also based on languages here, which is fantastic. I can see this being really useful if you're teaching another language or something like that. This could be a really handy element. We also have the ability to choose what type of fonts we'd like displayed. So maybe I'm looking for handwriting type fonts, and here are those handwriting type fonts that I can now add to my default list. And I can also sort by popularity, alphabetical order, date added, or fonts that are currently trending. So there we go. How cool is that? It is so quick and simple to add additional fonts to your default list in Google Slides to really elevate those presentations, to really create a cracker of a presentation or a slide deck or whatever purpose you are using Google Slides for. So once you have decided on the fonts that you would like, we're just going to click OK. And now you will see that those fonts, okay, they'll be in our recent section, and they'll also be down here, okay, in our list of not only default fonts, but fonts that we have added and selected. So I'm currently on outfit, so we could write here, okay, we can just pop in whatever we like, and now we're using that font. Now, I did tell you a little bit about the Google Dyslexia font, which is something that I've learned about recently, and it is now the default font for all of my Google Slides and Docs and all those kind of workspace elements that I create for my students. So the Google Dyslexia font is called Lexend. So you will see that I have already added it down here as an additional font. All right, so this is Lexend. So if I click here and I go to normal, I need to highlight that first. You will see that this font changes a little bit, and now this will be a font that is accessible for those students who have dyslexia, but also accessible for all students in our class. So this is why I have selected it as my default font for all of my Google Slides presentations, even my default font for any Google Docs that I create, because I want all of my learning resources to be accessible by all of my students. I want everybody to have an opportunity to be successful. So again, to add Lexend, you're just going to head up here. You're going to go to more fonts, and then you're going to find it here. You can search for it here. All right, there is Lexend with all of the other variations that you can also add there. So I've added that to my fonts, and now it will appear in my list just here. So that's how you add your additional fonts in Google Slides. Now the process is very similar in Google Docs, but let's head over and I'll show you exactly where and how to find it so that you know where to access the additional fonts in Google Docs. So again, Google Docs is just here. We have a little bit of a different editing bar here because obviously we're using a Google Doc, which means we are obviously going to be using text. All right, it's not like a slide presentation where we can have other types of media. In Docs, our menu bar is going to be mainly focusing on those elements of text and writing that we are going to include. So what we're going to do is we're going to just come up here to our list of fonts. Again, same process as Google Slides. All right, now obviously all of those particular fonts that I have selected in Slides are going to transfer across here because I'm using the same account. All right, that is one benefit of Google, is that it will transfer across if you are using the same account. So if you're using a school account, it's going to come across from Docs, going to go to Slides, okay, it's going to go to all of those other Google Workspace elements that you might be using. Again, we just click on more fonts and we just search in the same way that we have just looked at for Google Slides. So just search through, find the font that you are looking for. Okay, maybe we'll look for a particular type. Let's go a display font this time. Maybe let's have some let's do a silk screen. Okay, I'm going to pop that in there. And now I can type in just there using silk screen. All right, so same process as we followed for Google Slides so that we are able to access it in Google Docs. Again, we can use Lexend, and again, as I mentioned, Lexend is my preferred font now for anything Google Workspace. So there is Lexend in our Google Doc just here. I'll make that a little bit bigger so that we can see it. All right, and again, we have all of our normal editing options. So there we go. That is our first tip that we are going to share with you for the 12 tech tips of Christmas this year. How we can add additional fonts to not only Google Slides, but also to Google Docs. All right, let's head over to our next tip that we are going to share. And this is tip number 5. So we're going to spread them out a little bit here. And we're going to head over to tip number 5. And I think you'll love this one. And I absolutely loved recording this particular episode because I can see this particular tool being very beneficial and useful in the classroom. All right, our next tip that we are going to share from the 2024 season of the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas is tip number 5. That's right, tip number 5. So this is a fantastic tool, and I absolutely loved filming this episode, and I think you might find it really beneficial in the classroom. I don't think it matters what year group you're using. This resource can be really powerful, and I think your kids are absolutely going to love it. So tip number 5 from the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas is looking at a brand new resource that I have discovered called Kids Think Wide. And this particular tool might be able to replace some other tools that you may be paying for yourself. So why don't we head over and have a look at Kids Think Wide so we can see why this tool might be something that you might like to look at and add to your EdTech toolkit. All right, so let's head over to kidsthinkwide.com. Kidsthinkwide.com. This is a space where we are going to inspire our students to write. That's right. Writing is an important part of communication. It's a really important literacy skill, and this particular resource is going to help you encourage and motivate your students to become better writers. So with Kids Think Wide, there's a couple of different options that you can use. It has the option to use some picture prompts to engage and motivate your students when it comes to writing. So they have hundreds of images, and all of those images are paired with a writing prompt, and they are paired with some questions to get your students thinking about how they might approach that particular writing prompt. So that is the first wonderful element of this tool. All right, the next wonderful element of this particular tool is this called Choose Your Own Adventures, where your students get to have a little bit of choice in how they are going to craft their own writing and their own adventure narratives. So you will start off with a brainstorm, you'll start off with a theme, and there will be some prompts and some information and some stories and background that your students will then use to create their own adventure narratives. Wait till you look at it. I absolutely loved this particular episode when I filmed it, and there are some absolute cracker options available for you to use with your students that I could see being very, very engaging. So that is the second wonderful element of Kids Think Wide. All right, the third element is this one called Sparks. Now, I absolutely think this is magnificent, and I think this will be so engaging for your students. So you can ignite creativity with animated writing prompts. So we're moving away from those flat, just, image prompts to an animated writing prompt. How cool is that? We are elevating that writing experience and that prompt to create something that is going to be so engaging for your students. So let's go and have a look at some of these now. So I'm going to head back to the start here and have a look at the picture prompts. So I'm just going to click on Explore Prompts just here. it's going to take me into this section. All right. And you can see it does tell us again that there are hundreds of prompts that you can access there. There's also the option to generate, edit, and save custom prompts tailored to the needs of your students. So that could be really handy if you've got some lower ability students, middle, higher, whatever your particular needs are. That could be really handy dandy in your classroom. All right, let's scroll down here and we can see that we have our visual prompt. Okay, we have a little bit of information just here, all right, to describe this particular prompt. But you can see here that there are absolutely so many options. So how about we go up here to this dog who is clearly ready for Christmas, and let's click on this particular prompt, number 350 here. So here is our visual prompt. And if we scroll down, all right, we have our puppy Christmas adventure just here. We have the prompt that we are going to use with our students to get them writing. We also have our warm-up discussion questions just here, which you might use before you get your students to start writing, just so that they can start to develop some ideas that they can use in their writing there. Okay, so that is our prompt. That is our written prompt to help guide our students, and our warm-up questions just here that we can also use. Now, another wonderful component of this is this bit here, the create your own writing prompt. So you can actually really refine this and create your own writing prompt. So we can select a particular type of text type here. So maybe I'm going to choose a descriptive text type. We can choose our grade here, which is fantastic. So this means that the prompt is going to be relevant and appropriate for the particular grade that you might be teaching. So I might choose what my best friend teaches, and that is year 4. So I'm going to click year 4, and I'm going to click on the purple generate prompt button, and it is going to refine this so that it is now relevant for year 4 students. So you will see here, okay, that we have our prompt, which is just written here, and you can see that it's a little bit more appropriate, relevant. The language is going to be accessible for those particular students. If you scroll down here, you'll also see that it does have some other prompts that are related in some capacity to the prompt that you have selected. So you can continue that kind of theme. Maybe you have a particular type of unit, whether it's Australia or animals or space, and you can continue to kind of make those particular writing prompts related to your theme or topic. How cool is that? So that is a super duper amazing element of this one here. Now we do have the ability to like it or dislike it. We can make it full screen if we would like to, so that our students are able to see that if we are projecting that on a screen. Okay, we can copy the link to the prompt, and we can download it as a PDF. So if you would like to download that and store that away somewhere to reuse again later, you can do that with Kids Think Wide. And I think I forgot to tell you the best part about this. At this particular point in time, it is 100% free. Free. Doesn't cost you anything. So Kids Think Wide could be a really valuable resource for you. All right, let's head back to the home page and let's go and have a look at the choose your own adventure option. So I'm going to click just here, and we're going to head to the choose your own adventure option. All right, so let's click the purple start an adventure button. All right, so what we do here, it does give us a few basics to help us get started. So we start with a letter. So each one of these particular prompts has a letter, which really helps to get our imagination flowing and helps to warm us up with our particular option that we're going to choose. Do some brainstorming as a group, explore the images, choose your adventure, write, revise, edit, share, and celebrate. Okay, so down here we have some really cool choose your own adventure categories and themes. So we've got dinosaurs and elements. Okay, we've got food fights, camping. All right, there are so many wonderful ideas here. Okay, so let's maybe choose the magic carpet. All right, so let's have a look at this one today. So here is the letter that we are going to use to start this particular journey together. All right, so everybody's going to have this. We're going to work through this together. We're going to brainstorm some ideas. We've got some questions here. Okay, and then we come down here to the bottom, and I won't click on that one because that just previewed the adventures. We have some options just here. So we have 3 options that we can choose, and that will guide us in the writing that we are going to create. So maybe let's have a look at this one here, number 3. So we would click on that, or your students would identify which one they wanted to choose, and they would select that. Again, we have our picture prompt. We have our written prompt here to get us started. We have a few more questions to think about to help us create and craft a magical piece of writing. So how cool is that? So we start off with the letter that we all brainstorm and explore together, and then we really segue and focus in on what we would like to write about, which are really clearly delineated and outlined down here, which is so amazing and so cool. So the choose your own adventure option here in Kids Think Wide, I think it could be an absolute cracker for your students, and I think that they would absolutely love this particular option. All right, let's head over to the final section, which is Sparks, which is where we are going to look at some animated writing prompts to help us create some really magical, imaginative pieces of writing. So here we go. Instead of using those flat images that we've used before, this time we will have some beautiful, beautiful animated images here. And I think it's just taking a moment for here we go, for my computer to catch up. But we have some really cool animated images that we could use here. I think this little guy here, this animated bird with a crown, looks really cool. So I think we're going to use that one as our example. So there is our animated prompt that we are going to use, although it doesn't look very animated at the moment, but that's okay. Maybe if we make them bigger, will he animate? Let's check this out. Let's check this out. Okay, we're being a little bit slow. Oh, we're not being animated. Oh, that's disappointing. Okay, so if you want to see them animated, you're going to have to leave it on this particular page, the home page there of the Spark section. Again, we have our writing prompt there. We have our discussion questions, and we can also select a particular text type and our grade so that we can really customize that prompt for our students. But there you go, Kids Think Wide. I think this could be an amazing resource for your tech toolkit. Okay, an amazing resource to use as a warm-up for lessons, or maybe if you are absent for the day and you need your teacher that is replacing you to have something that is easy, accessible, fun, and exciting. So if you've used something like Pobble in the past and you now know that Pobble requires a subscription, this could be your new best friend. It could be what is going to help and guide you so that you are able to come in and have a look at this particular tool and use it in the classroom today. So that is our second sneak peek for the 2024 season of the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas. All right, let's head over and have a look at what we're going to look at now with our third sneak peek for 2024. All right, so we're going to go and have a look at something that is really cool, and we're going to talk about Google Chrome. So Chrome is a browser that most of us may be using at school, at home. It is a pretty well-known browser that we might be accessing. But I'm going to just show you a couple of really simple tricks to help you make the most out of Google Chrome. And one of those is tab groups, which is a really useful way of being able to manage all of your websites and put them into one kind of category so that everything is nicely organized. So let's head back to Chrome, and we are in Chrome at the moment, which is fantastic. So let's head over, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on the tab that I have open now, which is the presentation for this episode. So to create our tab groups, what we're going to do is we're going to right click on a tab that is open, or a tab that we have in our Chrome browser. And then we're going to scroll down here and you will see that we can add this tab to a group. So we're going to select this, and you can see now that this particular tab, okay, now has a kind of color around it, and it's a gray color. So what we can do is we can actually create tab groups where we can move all of the websites that we're using for a particular focus or particular purpose, and we can put them together. So I'm going to call this one my Evolve EdTech group here. So because these are all elements for Evolve EdTech. Now I can change the color of the group. So let's maybe make it a this kind of greeny color here. All right. And now you can see around this particular tab here, we have a green outline because this particular tab is part of this group here called Evolve EdTech. So I can go to every single one of these tabs. Again, just right click, and I'm going to scroll down here to add to new add to tab group. And I'm just going to add it to the tab group that I have already created. I can create a new tab group if I would like to, if I have particular resources for other things. Maybe one's reading, maybe one's writing, maybe one's my learning management system, or special websites that I use on a day-to-day basis in my classroom. But this time, I'm just going to add this to my Evolve EdTech tab group here. And you can see that that green line has continued around here. Now, here is the magical part. So what I can actually do is click on the Evolve EdTech group name just here, and it is going to condense all of those particular tabs down so that we are using a whole heap of real estate in Google Chrome. So if you're somebody who loves tabs and loves to have a million tabs open, all right, Chrome tabs might be something that are magical for you. So again, I can come over here, I can go to Kids Think Wide, I can right click, and I can add that one to the tab group. And now that is part of my Evolve EdTech tab group here. So that is a really useful way of being able to manage all of the tabs that you might have open in your Chrome browser so that they're all placed together and you can open them and close them as you need, so that you know what you are using and you're able to use the space that you have in your Chrome browser nice effectively. Now you can also right click on this and you see that we have some options here. We can save this group, which is really useful because at the moment, if you create a tab group at home, that tab group isn't going to transfer to maybe your school computer. But if you select Save Group, all right, you will see that the tab group now appears in your bookmarks bar, all right? So we can come here and it's now in my bookmarks bar, and it will appear on every device that I am logged into. So at the moment, I'm using my Evolve EdTech account. So if I go to another computer and I log into my Chrome browser using my Evolve EdTech profile, that particular tab group is going to appear. So if you are looking at ways to be able to transfer commonly used resources from device to device, and you don't want to put them into your bookmarks because that's just so old school, this is one way for you to do that. All right, I'm going to show you very quickly a couple of other little tips that might help you as well. So if you have, for example, a website such as your email that does obviously have sound, and you don't want a new email notification to be distracting your students, a really simple way to manage that is to head to our website, right click again, and we can mute that site, which means that sounds won't come out of that particular tab when you are using that particular site. So if you are using your email account and it's on your school laptop and things like that, I highly encourage you to mute them just to reduce those distractions in the staff room or in the classroom or in a meeting, and it just makes life a little bit easier. All right, and my final little tip that I'm going to share with you is one that I use quite regularly, and it's called pinning tabs. So, yes, we can pop them into our tab groups here, but maybe you have some particular resources that you use that you would like to be able to access really quickly and efficiently. So, we can actually pin different websites to our Chrome browser, and these again will transfer across as long as you are logged into the same account. So maybe I want to pin Kids Think Wide because it is something that I am using on a daily basis. So all I'm going to do here is right click again. I'm going to scroll down here to pin, and you will now see that this particular website has moved over here to the left-hand side of my screen. Okay, I can now click on that particular site, but I can't close it. So pinning websites is really useful if you don't want to accidentally close a resource, or you have a website that is really valuable and useful for you. All right, you might like to pin it. If I want to unpin it because I no longer need it, again, I just right click and I scroll down to unpin, and now I will be able to close that resource. So there we go. Really quickly, I've showed you how to create tab groups, how we're able to change the color of our tab groups, save our tab groups, mute any of our tabs in a Chrome browser, and pin any of those resources that we might be using on a day-to-day basis. So Google Chrome, some of these are really tiny, simple tricks that you may not know of that can actually make you and your use of Chrome much more efficient as an educator. So how cool is that? A really simple couple of ways to get the most out of Google Chrome. All right, so let's head back to our presentation. We are on the home stretch, which is fantastic. All right, so we are up to the final trick that we are going to share with you tonight. And this is a special one. And this one is one that I really want you to know about because I think this is absolutely invaluable. So our seventh tip from the 2024 season of the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas does come from us here at Evolve EdTech. And we want to show you all of our digital templates and where you can access your templates so that you can start going and having a look at some of those and using those in your classroom. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the Evolve EdTech website right now. Okay, so we're going to head over here to evolveedtech.com. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go and explore all of the different digital templates that we have available for you at Evolve EdTech. So to access the digital templates, all you're going to do is head up here to resources, and you're going to click on digital templates. So at the moment, we have about 80 plus digital templates, which are absolutely free for you to be able to download and access. All of these templates come in as PNG files, JPEG files, and PDF files. So there is an option for you to be able to use them no matter what you're doing in the classroom. All right, so if we just scroll down here, you can see that we have a couple of our templates there for you to have a look at as our featured templates. And then if you scroll down, you will find our digital templates categories. So the template categories are a little bit limited at the moment, but they will be expanding in the future. So please don't think that this is all of the templates that we will have available. We continuously create them and upload them for you to be able to access. So at the moment, we have templates, which are our digital templates, which was probably our largest collection. We have a series of exit tickets. We have a range of templates based on the Harvard Project Zero visible thinking routines. And we have some reading activities, which you can also access. So maybe let's head over to our visible thinking strategy templates. So once we click on our particular category, you'll be taken to all of the templates that relate to that category. So we have selected our visible thinking routine templates here, and you can see that we have a large number of templates related to those visible thinking routines. You will see an image of that particular template and a small description of what that template is, okay, so that you can make an informed judgment as to what that template is and whether it is going to suit your needs. So for example, maybe let's have a look at the looking 10 times 2 template just here. So what we do if we would like that template is we literally click on it. It's going to take us up to the sign up page. Now, what we've decided here at Evolve EdTech is we have put all of these templates into our Evolve EdTech portal, which means these will be in a special portal, which is absolutely free for you to access so that you can access these templates at any time. We thought this might be easier than sending them to you as an email so that you don't lose them. You don't accidentally delete that particular file or that email. This is just one way to make sure it's easier for you to be able to access these resources in future. So all you do here, okay, is you pop in your details, and I'll do this one for you. So I'll use the Evolve EdTech, evolveedtech.com, pop your name in there, agree to the conditions, and then just proceed to check out, all right? So this is all 100% free. It's not going to cost you anything. And then all you're going to do is click on View Dashboard, all right? If you are going to head into your portal, you're just going to use the email address that you used to sign up with, okay, on that previous page, and you're going to be able to access your portal. All right, once you're in your portal, it's going to take you to the homepage here. All right, there's a couple of ways to access your templates. You can access them here in complete course, which is going to take us straight to that particular template. Okay, otherwise we can head up here into the top right hand corner to the 9 dots and click on courses. And this is going to take us to all of the resources and templates that you have accessed through Evolve EdTech, and you will find them in one nice, clean location. So you can see just here is our looking at 10 times 2 template. If I click on that particular course, it's going to take us in here. Now I just click on this, and now I will be able to access this particular template. So I did mention that all of our templates are available as a PDF file, a PNG file, or a JPEG file. And some of our templates, such as this one here, are also available to download as a GIF file, all right? So you would just choose the file that you would like to be able to use there, and then you can use that. If you're using it in a Google Slide document, okay, I highly suggest that you insert it as a background. So I'm going to download this one here. I'm going to head back to our sample presentation that we created a little bit earlier in this episode. I'm going to show you how you can insert an image as a background so that the students can't do anything with it. They can't delete it. They can't make a mess of it. So if you, for example, insert this particular template as an image, so let's head in here. Let's pop that in as an image. All right, we'll make it the same size as the slide itself. All right, you can see here that you will probably have a student that comes in, that moves this, that deletes this. Oh dear, that's going to be a lot of trouble, a lot of pain, isn't it? Well, this is my suggestion to alleviate that. If you come up here and you click on background, we can actually insert this particular template as a background. Now, because this one is a GIF, it's not actually going to be animated when we insert it as a background, but it's still going to mean that we're going to minimize a whole heap of other problems that might occur. So you can now see that I can't actually move or delete that particular template, all right? So I can't do anything to that, but I can still pop a text box in. I can still respond to the prompts or whatever that particular template is exploring. So I really encourage you to come over and explore all of the templates that we have available for you, okay? We have so many templates. It is always growing. It's always getting bigger. And if you have an idea for a digital template that you think would be great, make sure you let us know, all right? Feel free to email us, tristan.heron@evolveedtech.com. Make sure you leave a comment on our socials. Let us know if there is a template that you would love to see featured as one of our digital templates. So there we go. We've got so many options. It is absolutely unbelievable. I think at last count, it was about 80 different templates. So head over to evolveedtech.com and check out our suite of digital templates, which are there to support you in the classroom with your students. All right, well, I think that is bringing us to the end of that special sneak peek of those 4 episodes of the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas from 2024. So, as I've mentioned, you'll be able to check out all 12 of those tips, tricks, and tools of the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas each day from the December 13th to 24th, 2024. So you'll be able to access all of those episodes on our social channels, Facebook and Instagram, and you'll also be able to check those out on the Evolve EdTech YouTube channel. So make sure you join us each day from the 13th to the 24th of December so that you can catch up and check out every single episode from the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas from 2024. Well, that is it for our final episode for 2024. I can't believe we've made it here. It has been a super year, super busy. We have looked at so many wonderful things this year. But before we head off tonight, I do want to remind you, we would love to stay connected. So head over and check out our website. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Evolve EdTech YouTube channel. And you can catch up with us on our social channels so that we can stay connected with each other after the episode finishes this evening. All right, and don't forget, if you haven't caught up on the previous episodes, we would love it if you checked those out. Just head over to Evolve EdTech's YouTube channel and you can catch up on all 12 episodes for 2024 and you can check out what amazing tips, tricks, and tools we've shared over the last year. So make sure that you head over to that particular YouTube channel and you check out those episodes. All right. We do want to talk very quickly about something that is coming up in January 2025, and that is the inaugural The Tech Ready Teacher Digital Conference. So this is something that we have been thinking about for some time, and we've taken the plunge and we have decided to implement it in 2025. So over 5 days, we are going to share 10 wonderful pre-recorded sessions with you, looking at a range of EdTech tips, tricks, and tools that you might be able to use in the classroom. We will have 2 episodes available each day, and it is 100% free. It is all pre-recorded, so you can catch up on those at your leisure. So join us for the Tech Ready Teacher Digital Conference in 2025. The main period of the conference is from the 13th to the 17th of January, but you can access these pre-recorded videos at any time that you would like. So if you'd like to grab your free ticket, please head over to the techreadyteacher.com and secure that today. We'd love to see you there. We'd love to see as many people join us to make this big and to really encourage us to support you with your EdTech journeys. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this year. Innovative EdTech is just one way that we can give back to you and help you with your EdTech journeys. We love sharing ideas and tips and tricks and tools with you when it comes to EdTech. I am so passionate about EdTech and I love being here and supporting you with this particular journey. So thank you so much for joining us this year for Evolve EdTech's Innovative EdTech episodes. It's been wonderful to see you. We will be back in 2025. We're not quite sure what is going to be happening yet. We may have a new format in 2025, but we will be back in some capacity. So make sure you check out the Evolve EdTech socials to find out a little bit more about that. But anyway, that brings us to the end of episode 12. Thank you so much for joining us for this very special sneak peek at those 4 tips, tricks, and tools that we will feature in this year's episode of the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas. We really hope that you found them useful, and we can't wait for you to join us for all 12 days of the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas from the 13th of December. Thank you so much for being part of this journey. Have a safe holiday, Christmas, whatever you like to do, a fantastic new year, and we will see you again in some capacity in 2025. Thank you so much for being part of this journey with us here at Evolve EdTech. We absolutely love it, and we can't wait to connect with you again. Stay safe, everybody. My name is Tristan. I am the creator of Evolve EdTech, and until we see each other again, be good.